Mayor Brandon Scott of Baltimore is one of those mayors, and he joins us now in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio. We should note that the city has received money from Bloomberg Philanthropies. It is the philanthropic arm of Bloomberg LP, the parent company of Bloomberg Radio. Mayor, welcome to the program. Re-elected in 2024. You've been mayor since 2020. I want to start with the government shutdown because you are pretty close to Washington, D.C. You've got some folks in your community who certainly work there and obviously benefit from people working in the government. The president making comments earlier today that we can expect layoff details in 4 to 5 days. How's the shutdown affecting your constituents right now?
Well, there's a lot of my constituents on unease, right? When you're thinking about over 12,000 Baltimoreans work for the federal government, either directly or on contract. And then when you think about what that's going to mean for them and their families, they're just not at ease right now. And folks want to go to work. They want their government to be working. And of course, then all our residents who depend on programming and things that are just going to be out there that may not be having a direct impact as of yet by the shutdown, but as it continues and goes on, it would be.
What do you consider your biggest problem in running the city? I mean, Baltimore, we report about it a lot. It is the fourth most dangerous, according to U.S. News and World Report, this summer ranking Baltimore the fourth most dangerous city in the country behind Memphis, Oakland, and St. Louis. Based on FBI data, they look at property crime, they look at murders per capita. But what do you as mayor, I'm sure there's a lot that's on your plate. What's top of mind? Well,
listen, violence is always top of mind. It's the reason why I got into office, and we understand that we have a long way to go. But I know you guys know here at Bloomberg Radio the many years that we were number one on that list. And as you and I are talking today, I think it's the mode and the conversation around Baltimore and violence has shifted significantly. We have the fewest amount of homicides through any October 7th on record today. That is a big change. When I said in 2021, laying out our comprehensive violence prevention plan that we were going to reduce homicide by 15% from one year to the next, people literally laughed. Right now, it's down 30% from last year, and last year was a record reduction for us. We're going to continue that.
How did you do it?
We did it through our comprehensive plan.
Which is what?
Which is a bunch of things. One, first and foremost, we go and we identify those who are most likely to be the victim or perpetrator of gun violence, and we focus on them. We give them opportunities to change their life, and if not, we remove them via law enforcement. And that's how we're driving down violence. We're focusing on guns and the flow of guns into our city, going after gun traffickers, those who are using guns, arresting them at my direction with the police department, turning them over to our state's attorney and our attorney general. We have historic levels of investment into community violence intervention, where we have people who used to be on the other side of the law going out and preventing conflicts from escalating into violence. All of it. We're going after gun manufacturers.
So people who understand where the problems are, and you're pulling them in to helk you get at the problem.
They were the problem, and now they're part of the solution. And what better way to do that?
How do you get those people to do that?
Well, easy. First and foremost, many people who have made that mistake don't want people coming behind them to make that. And they know that we're growing this network of community violence intervention workers in our city. So the word is out that we want to give people a second chance to be a part of solving a problem that they once were causing.
The city, though, in the crosshairs of the president, he called it a hellhole last month. You and Governor Wes Moore said that law enforcement from the state will patrol some areas. Has that begun?
Yeah, that's begun. And the governor is actually restarting something that was ended by his predecessor. Think about it like this. You would not find any other state police department in any state in this country not operating at all in its only major city. That's Baltimore City was the only jurisdiction in Maryland that Maryland State Police did not operate in. The governor's restarting that. We're grateful for that support and to continue that work.
Are you open to the president sending National Guard troops to the city?
No, we've been very clear about that.
Why not?
We know how to reduce violence in Baltimore. We have reduced violence to its lowest levels ever recorded on record, even lower than the president's first term. The way that we have done it in partnership with our community, with our police department, with our state's attorney, our attorney general, and our federal and law enforcement partners who work beside us each and every day. That's how we should continue that work. If the president wants to help us, he should restore grants and funding that was cut to organizations that help in that, restore funding cut from those law enforcement agencies. This president has had the biggest reduction in funding for federal law enforcement agencies. They should be restoring.
What funding are you not getting as a result?
So for us,
specifically?
we have not been directly impacted as of yet. It's our partner organizations, like, for example, LifeBridge Helps, that runs the Center for Hope. There's a part of our CVI network that has programming
What's
around
CVI?
CVI is Community Violence Intervention.
Forgive me.
They lost a $500,000 grant. The same thing for Living Classrooms. That's big work that is going to be not happening, whether it be a hospital-based response, our community-based responders. We need a victim assistance for young people, getting those young people the services they need. That helps to prevent violence as well.
What will you do, though, if the president sends troops
Well,
to the
listen,
city?
we'll be prepared to take whatever action that we can, be it legal or others, alongside our governor and our team, based on when, what, and how the president does something, if he does anything. But what we hope the president does is to continue to support those agents that are already working in our city, and let them do their work, and let the law enforcement partnership that has driven us results this far carry us all the way.
But even though crime has improved, even though you shared statistics that show they're the best that they've ever been, like Carol mentioned, your city is still on a list that you don't want to be on. So what would you say to people out there who are saying, well, I would feel more comfortable if there were an increased law enforcement presence, and that could include federal troops?
Well, we had the National Guard in Baltimore in 2015 following the unrest of Freddie Gray. It's one of the most violent years ever. It didn't help, right? Mm-hmm. We have to remember this is not what those folks signed up to do. Allow those folks who signed up to go after gun traffickers, murderers, robbers, carjackers to do their work, and allow the other people to do their work. And listen, there are other lists. You know, there are many of these lists. We were on some lists we weren't on. The list that we want to be on is the list of who has the largest reductions. And you will be hard-pressed to find a city in this country that's had a sustainable long-term reduction like Baltimore's had from September of 2023 until now.
What do you see as what's wrong with politics today? What do you think is wrong with what some say is the Democratic Party not very clear in its mission and kind of stepping up?
Well, very simply, I think that
I ask you because I think there's a lot of, forgive me, but there's a lot of folks who think there are politicians who've become career politicians and things haven't changed and we need some change.
Well, I think that what folks have to understand is that for me, and I say this about the Democratic Party all the time, and more recently, they have to let the folks that are closest to the problem be out front and part of the solution, meaning they need to listen to mayors. The mayors are the ones that have to solve the problems. The mayors are the ones that have to meet the people in the grocery store. And we've proven in city after city after city, we know how to drive down crime. And you have to talk to people where they are. We have to get out of being up in the sky with pie in the sky, talk to people in real sense, real things that impact them, and explain to them how these things are going to make their communities better.
How long do you want to be mayor?
I want to be mayor for as long as the residents of Baltimore will have me. This will be my second term. Believe it or not, I've been in elected office since 2011, and I've been in City Hall since 2007.
And you are a young man right now.
Yes, a youngish man. I'm 41. I'll be 42 on my birthday. But this is about making my city better. I got into this service because I saw someone get shot at 7 years old and no one cared. And wanting to drive down that violence, to have vacant housing be at its lowest point in my lifetime in Baltimore is something we're proud of, but we're not celebrating. We have a lot of work to do, and we're going to do it.
The reason I go back there is I do think we talk about this in media, that there isn't a lot of, local publications anymore. A lot of newspapers have shut down, and so we get kind of the high and the...
Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah.
We get that view, but we don't... This is why we love talking to mayors. But often people are mayors and then they move up and they go to governor and then they go to Congress and stuff. So I'm just curious, how long do you want to stay on that local level?
Well, everyone knows
what's the end game?
Everyone knows I don't want to be governor. And everyone in Baltimore knows that I'll be quite okay if being the mayor of Baltimore is the last elected office I ever had. This is my dream job as a child. I will hold it as long as the residents of Baltimore will allow me to do so, and as long as I'm living within term limits.
Before we let you go, because you have a train to catch to get home,
yes,
and we want to be respectful of your time, the attracting and retaining business to the city, we know that's economic development is a way to improve cities. What are you doing right now to say Baltimore is open for business?
Yeah, I think that you have to understand we had $4 billion of investment into Baltimore. We have $7 billion investment coming to downtown Baltimore, whether it's T. Rowe Price's new headquarters or Under Armour's new headquarters. everyone knows through our Downtown Rise plan, we are open for business in the city of Baltimore, reforming our permit process and reforming our zoning code, all the things that we need to do to help grow business in Baltimore, especially in the tech and life sciences industry that is taking off out of Hopkins and out of the University of Maryland, putting a lot of money and a lot of tech businesses out into the e-field.
Any signs that we're headed towards a recession?
Well, we'll see. We know that with tariffs and all the other things going, we just have to all be mindful of what's happening and prepare. As we're doing our budgets, I've been talking to my brother and sister mayors to make sure that we're being responsible right now because we do not know yet what is to come.